Hey folks, Airwingmarine here. Welcome back to the channel. Since we're all anxiously awaiting for the upcoming server slam for Arc Raiders, Embark gave us a juicy post today. But first, if you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any of the Arc Raiders content that we're going to be covering, and we're going to be doing tons of it over the next month. Today though, we're diving into the latest devlog from Arc Raiders. Plus, that fresh server slam trailer that's got everyone hyped. Though I don't think the trailer got everybody hyped. Everybody's pretty hyped, and this just it just adds to it as we're all waiting to play Arc. If you've been following my channel, you know I've been keeping an eye on this game since Tech Test 2. It's got, for me anyways, a perfect mix of extraction shooter tension, sci-fi vibes, and just unmatched immersion. And that's coming from me, who's primarily a Tarkov player. That should set the bar for if you're not familiar with it. Now, this latest devlog they did dropped on October 13th from Alexander Grondal. I might have said that wrong. I apologize if I did. He is the executive producer, and it's basically a comprehensive rundown of everything you need to know about the game. We'll just do a breakdown of that and concisely boil it down and give you the juicy details. Then we'll expand on the upcoming server slam, what it is, how to get in, and why it's a big deal. This video should run about 10 or 15 minutes, so grab a snack, settle in, and let's get into it. All right, for those who haven't heard of it yet, Arc Raiders is a multiplayer extraction adventure set in a future Earth wrecked by mysterious robots called Arc. You play as a raider, scavenging the surface for loot while dodging these killer machines and other players who might just stab you in the back for your gear. What's the core game loop? Head topside, grab treasure and scraps, complete quests, and extract back to Speranza alive. Speranza being the underground city where you go back to and is home. Now, like other extraction shooters, it's all or nothing. You can return back home loaded or lose it all if you bite the dust. Risk versus reward is the name of the game, and every choice you make matters. That is why these types of games draw me in. I love that aspect. Now, as far as the gameplay action, most of that happens topside. The dangerous surface world where you're hunting for loot, stuff like usable items for gameplay advantages or crafting materials to upgrade your setup, but you're not alone up there. The Arc are everywhere, and they come in all shapes and sizes, each with their own little tricks, some nastier than others. Starting small, you've got ticks, and you're going to get to know these really well. These spider-like little bots with 8 legs that hide in buildings and dark corners and cling to walls and ceilings. They pounce on you when you least expect it. Now, while not incredibly dangerous in the grand scheme of everything you're going to fight out there, they are freaky. And even when I'm geared up, they scare the crap out of me. I hate them. If I hear one or see one, I get goosebumps every time. Now, up from there is the Snitch. By itself, it's harmless. It's a flying scout, hovers around, and spots for its bigger, more aggressive robots. If it sees you or another player, it starts following you and sounding alarms to call in backup. So if you do see one, stay hidden or take it out fast. Now, bigger threats include the Leaper, a ground pounder that patrols outdoors and hits with its devastating jump attacks. Now, this might be the Bison. I think it is, and they're just renaming it, but it could be wrong, and it could be a new Arc we haven't seen yet. Now, the Bombardier is also another bot we haven't seen yet, except for maybe in the trailers. I think we've seen some screenshots of it and its effects, because it teams up with some spotter drones to mark you for mortar strikes. And so talk about artillery from hell, that's pretty much what this will be. Now, there are lots of others. You've got things like the Pop and Fireball, which are two similar bots. The Bastion, which is like an oversized tick with a minigun on the front of it, and probably one of the most creepy alert sounds, still haunts me to this day. And then you go up to aerial ones like Wasps and Hornets and Rocketeers. Each has its own strengths and weaknesses. So learning their patterns and those strengths and weaknesses themselves is key to survival. And then there are the bosses, if you will, the boss. We've only seen one, but everybody thinks there's going to be more than one. The Queen is a massive machine, as big as an apartment building, defending something called the Harvester. Now, you can go watch gameplay of this from the Tech Test 2. They make it sound mysterious in the blog post. It's not really anymore. And it's looking like folks are going to get another run at her and the Harvester in the server slam. Just based on the trailer we got, it's showing fighting her again, which is cool. I missed out on it. I didn't go do it, and I regret it. I'm going to be definitely looking to go pick a fight with the Queen right out the gate. Now, rumors hint at other huge variants too, and we've seen a few peeks of these in various trailers. A lot of people think this is the King. It's massive. I don't even know how you're going to deal with it. Not something you're going to be able to fight. And last, but most certainly not least, is don't forget about the other Raiders. You yourself, you can go solo or squad in teams of 2 or 3. The matchmaking tries to pit squads against squads and solos against solos. But alliances can form or break. I've seen some wild betrayals as well as some unexpected truces in the playtest, and that was just over a couple of days. But everybody that you're not going in with is a potential enemy. And most people resort to kill on sight PvP, though since the game has VoIP, you do get some really interesting interactions. Now, all of this plays out in the Rust Belt, a variety of locations that keep things fresh. We'll all start off at the dam battlegrounds. It's got forests, swamps, research center, a dam, apartments, all sorts of stuff. And it's perfect, honestly, for learning the ropes with tons of spots to explore, decent loot, lots of arcs, all that kind of stuff. The queen even shows up here. But after that, you'll unlock also Buried City, which is a pre-collapse metropolitan city covered in sand dunes and stuff now. It's got hospitals and malls, town squares, parking garages, all sorts of stuff. It's actually a pretty cool map. Spaceport is a rundown launch facility packed with old tech and industrial zones and stuff like that. Just think SpaceX or NASA mixed with, I don't know, Ford Motor Company or something. Big, huge facility, manufacturing, space launches, all that kind of stuff. Cool map, high tech, high risk reward kind of place. Now, Blue Gate is one we haven't played yet. This is a 4th map that we haven't played. We've seen lots of screenshots. They've done lots of teasers of this over the last month or so. It's up in the mountains, open areas, got some small towns, tunnels, and underground complexes. And interesting enough with this, get this, they teased a 5th map called Stella Montes. Stella Montes. Probably saying that wrong. The blog says, rumors abound, but what it is and how to get there still is a mystery. One of the creators that I like to follow a lot over on X, Rooster Scrappy, posted about this tease saying Arc Raiders has teased the 5th map. There are even rumors of a place called Stella Montes. And it's got the community buzzing. People are excited. We're hoping we're going to see that soon, but it's going to be something they're going to trickle out, I bet. Folks are speculating, all sorts of stuff. The one that I think makes the most sense based on the name, some kind of snowy peak or something like that based on the name, because the name means Star of the Mountain, in Latin anyways. So I can't wait to see how that unfolds and get a peek at it. Now, just because there's only 5 maps, doesn't mean they're static. You get different weather, which you see before you load into the map. And all the maps kind of have their own thing going on. Different weather, different times of day, just all sorts of special conditions. Night, obviously, is night. And they turn the loot up. There's higher loot at night, but the arc threat is greater as well. There's a harvest season that lets you loot natural loot, lemons and peaches and stuff, which you need for some of the tasks and things, and upgrading Scrappy. There's electromagnetic storms, then hidden bunkers, all sorts of good stuff like that. The Rust Belt, the way they have it set up, it's going to evolve constantly. And this isn't like over weeks. Like each day has 4 or 5 of these things happening. At least it did during the tech test. So it's going to be good to keep it fresh. Now, when you're not topside, risking it all, you can chill in Speranza. We talked about this before. It's the underground safe haven from the Ark. It's the city everybody went underground to build, but resources are limited, typical post-apocalyptic kind of thing, right? And this is where your hub is, which is kind of like your stash in Tarkov or some other games like that. I forget what it's called in Delta Force, but you can level up your raider here with the XP, or you use your XP to spend skill points on abilities that'll give you better mobility or stealth or carrying capacity. Really allows you to customize to your playstyle. There's stuff in there to deal with completing feats, which is destroying like 5 wasps or whatever, and it gives you rewards. And then there's things with raider decks, some free, some paid, permanent or time limited, all sorts of stuff in there. I don't want to get into it too much because it could change. We've only saw what it was in the tech test, and the tech test definitely wasn't the final product. You have the codex as well that builds your lore knowledge on Ark, people, and places as you progress. Now, your workshop lets you craft, upgrade, and repair gear. And there's all sorts of stuff in here crafting. Won't get into the details. You'll see in the server slam. You level it up for better stuff. Pretty typical gameplay loop. You've got traders like Celeste. They'll send you on story quests, and you can trade items and money and stuff like that and buy stuff from them. They've also got weekly trials planned from what we heard, challenges with leaderboards and masteries. And then there is the large expedition projects, but there's a whole video on that. Something I already did a video on, so you can go watch that if you want more stuff on the expedition projects, expeditions, forget the order. it's basically prestiging and wiping. So go check that out if you want to see that. But all of this stuff adds just more depth to the game. Now, before heading out on your raid, you got to prep your raider. Now, like a lot of games, customization is a big draw for folks. You customize your looks, your character model, face, hair, body types, all that kind of stuff, cosmetics, colors, all of that kind of good stuff is there. There's also backpacks, which they're a key part of it. You might scoff at a backpack, but that's kind of a key part of this whole game. And you'll see why when you play it. And then it gives you some attachments and charms. And you can unlock more of those via quests, levels, decks, in the store, all the game loop ways you can imagine. Now with this, the blog gave us a short video that covers a ton of this customization, and not just the character models and outfits, but the packs, different packs, the little charms that can hang off. I call them charms, but they're like funny buckets and all sorts of stuff like that. You can watch it. We'll make sure we link it. And even Scrappy the rooster, he has tons of customization himself with hats and helmets and things like that. Now in the gear department, your weapons range from the Rattler auto rifle to the volcano shotgun, volcano shotgun. And it's even got energy weapons like the equalizer. Attachments and upgrades, you can tailor them like most guns. It's not as crazy as games like Tarkov. I would put it more in line with older school like Battlefield, or even simpler than that, maybe Apex Legends. 4 or 5 attachments. Some are only 2. Very simple, but ways to customize your gun. You also get tons of gadgets that you can have in your inventory. Grenades, zip lines, mines, door blockers, flares, bandages. They all help you play the way you want to play. And you can take as much as you want in and go well prepared, or go in with a free kit and scavenge on the fly. It's all based on how you want to play and what you want to do that raid. Shields and augments are kind of upgrades to your backpack. They allow you to fine tune for your playstyle as well. You can go with light shields and be a lot quicker. You can go with heavy shields and be a lot slower and tankier. Fill up with a ton of gadgets as ammo, heavy defense. If you're broke, like I said, you've got the free loadouts, which is the Speranza citizens give you, which means even if you lose everything, you can still go into a raid and be successful. And then on top of that, roosters, we've talked about a couple of times now, or Scrappy the rooster, he brings you items each time you're on a raid, pretty much. And you can use those to craft gear, so you don't even have to go with a free kit. So they really have thought of a lot with the broad range of players and everything that's going to come into this. Now, interestingly enough, to sweeten the pot for the Server Slam, they've added the Bruiser bundle to all the pre-orders, anybody who's pre-ordered. This bundle gives you some bruised face styles, punched hand emotes, boxing glove backpack, Lucky Duck bundle with a hatchling backpack, and golden rubber duck charm. All sorts of goodies there if you're interested in that kind of stuff. Now, if you want to pre-order, do that on your platform of choice, whether it's Steam or Xbox or PlayStation or whatever. $40 for standard, $60 for deluxe. There's lots of extras and stuff that come with that. I have another video diving into way more detail about that if you're interested. This isn't me telling you to pre-order, by the way. Play on the free playtest on the Server Slam before you pre-order, so you know you like the game. But if you want more information on that pre-order stuff, go check out my video on that. Now, let's talk about the Server Slam. The trailer just dropped. It's 30-second hype machine showing gameplay and all that kind of stuff. There's nothing really new in there. There's a few cutscenes that I don't think we've seen before, but it's just filler. It's all cuts of stuff we've seen before. It's just marketing, trying to get everybody piped up for the Server Slam. Raiders blasting arc, leaping through ruins, extracting under fire, all of the good stuff you can imagine. It ends with play October 17th and 19th. And pre-order calls. The official Arc Raiders post says, the Rust Belt is calling. Raider, are you ready to slam those servers? See you October 17th. And the community's obviously pretty hyped about that. Thousands of likes and excited replies. Now, from the earlier announcement blog, the Server Slam is a 3-day open test from October 17th to the 19th. And it's open to everybody as long as you're 16 and over, but we know how that goes. The beauty of this is there's no codes. There's no pre-registration, no pre-orders required, none of that stuff. They're just saying you're going to download it on Steam, Epic Game Store, PS5, or Xbox Series X or S. It's going to be starting on the 17th. Now, how this is going to work exactly, I am not sure. We haven't been given specifics. They're saying they're going to roll out access gradually on day 1 to manage the load, so just be patient if it's queued. I'll try to do a video first thing on Friday morning explaining the process if it's necessary, if it's not cut and dry. What you can expect though is basically you're going to be able to finally get hands-on with the game, obviously. Suggestion is just play it, have fun with it. Don't try to worry about progression because it's going to get reset. There's limited progression there, and they're limited a lot of stuff, obviously, because it's just a quick server test, but none of it's going to stay. The only thing you're going to get if you do play is you're going to get a Server Slam backpack, which is a cosmetic that you'll have to create an Embark ID and do all that stuff, but you'll have it once the game launches on the 30th if you just do decide to buy it. Now, getting the Embark ID created is kind of an interesting process. The simplest way I can explain to do it is people are going to the finals, which is a free game, and signing up for that, you can create an Embark ID there. I'm still hunting around for a better place, a better link that's the Embark portal, if you will, that I can share with you guys. I'll put that down in the description if I find it. If you find it, don't hesitate to throw it in the... you can't throw it in the comments because YouTube filters that stuff. Bad actors ruin it for all of us. Post it in a Discord somewhere if you can get a hold of me, and I'll make sure to pass it on to everybody for that Embark ID thing. Now, again, this is basically a stress test to hammer the servers before launch, ensuring everything's smooth. Now, the interesting thing is they're going to be at TwitchCon San Diego, which is going on at the same time. TwitchCon San Diego, I believe, is the 17th, 18th, and 19th too. I'm not going, so I didn't look at the dates. But they're going to be there. They've got a booth. You're going to be able to play it there. Dev meets, they've got swag, everything you can imagine. So make sure you check out their socials and stuff for that. Now, as I posted on X, I'm curious how this rollout is going to work across all platforms. Again, they said it'll be gradual and not everyone at once. So is this going to be a first come first serve kind of deal? Are there going to be queues on, like everybody's going to just get the game and we queue on login for Steam? Does it appear as a separate program, a separate game? Or is it going to be a request access like previous betas with other games in this game? The reason I'm worried about this is the tech test 2 was a bit of a fustercluck, as I called it in the tweet. It was chaotic with keys and the lottery system and everything they did, and it wasn't super clear for everybody. So I'm hoping they've kind of ironed that out. It doesn't matter how straightforward it might seem. Clear comms prevent frustration. It's that simple. But drop your thoughts down in the comments. How do you think it's going to go? Now, before we sign off, though, I do want to do a quick shout out to my own project that I'm working on with a buddy of mine. We are building an Arc Raiders website called arcraiders.pro. We are working towards a one-stop shop for all things Arc Raiders and the community that wants to love the game. We're talking maps, crafting tools, item libraries, hopefully even player strats if we can work out player stats and tracking if we can work that out with Embark. Right now, it's in an early alpha state, but it's up and running and semi-functional if you want to check it out. We launched a community Discord to go along with it, and a Patreon if you want to be more involved with the dev process and support our efforts. But that's all optional. All the links will be down in the description. I appreciate it a lot if you check it out and come join the Discord. Wrapping up, the dev blog paints Arc Raiders as a deep, evolving extraction shooter with tons of replayability. Server Slam is your chance to jump in for free and see if it's for you. So we just got a couple of days away, October 17th, first thing in the morning. I believe it's going live at 9 a.m. Eastern. At least that's when they're going to first start letting people in. But again, they're wishy-washy on that. If we get more details, we'll do another video to make sure you guys know. Now, if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe for more gaming and deep dives. And don't forget to follow me over on X, Twitter, for updates if that's your thing. Don't hesitate to let me know down below if you're pre-ordering, if you're hyped for the Server Slam, if you don't even care about the game. But we'll wrap her up there. Appreciate you guys watching as always, and we'll see you in Speranza on the 17th.